Hello and welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel. Today, we delve deep into a fascinating yet often misunderstood coin from British numismatic history, the 1966 Queen Elizabeth II halfpenny with no mint mark. Whether you're a casual collector, a history enthusiast, or someone who's just stumbled upon this coin and wonders about its true worth, this comprehensive guide is for you. The halfpenny, often affectionately called a halfpenny, has a long history in the United Kingdom's coinage system. It was one of the smallest denominations used for everyday transactions. The 1966 issue represents one of the final years before the UK transitioned to a decimal currency system in 1971, marking the end of an era for the halfpenny. On the obverse of the 1966 halfpenny is the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular effigy is the laureate young head design, created by Mary Gillick, which graced the coinage for many years during the early reign of the Queen. The portrait captures a youthful and regal image of the monarch, symbolizing stability and continuity. The reverse side showcases the celebrated Golden Hind, the famed ship captained by Sir Francis Drake during his circumnavigation of the globe in the 16th century. This design, crafted by Thomas Humphrey Paget, has been a hallmark of British halfpennies since the mid-20th century. The ship is depicted with intricate detail, sails billowing and rigging sharply defined, celebrating British maritime history and exploration. Physically, the 1966 halfpenny is composed of bronze, weighs approximately 5.6 grams, and measures just over 25 millimeters in diameter. Its sturdy composition allowed it to circulate widely, enduring the wear and tear of everyday use. In 1966, the British Royal Mint produced a staggering number of these halfpennies. Around 95 million coins entered circulation that year. This vast production means that, from a mintage standpoint, the 1966 halfpenny is very common. Importantly, the coin does not bear any mint mark, which was standard practice for UK coins minted in London during this era. Unlike other countries that mark coins from different mints to differentiate origin, the UK primarily used the London Mint for circulating coinage at that time. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on a 1966 halfpenny is neither unusual nor rare, it is simply the norm. This commonality is critical when assessing the rarity and value of the coin today. Collectors must look beyond the mint mark or lack thereof and focus on other factors that truly impact value. Given the enormous number produced, rarity is not a defining characteristic of the 1966 halfpenny. However, rarity in numismatics is often about more than just how many were made. It includes survival rates, condition, errors, and historical context. Many 1966 halfpennies have survived in heavily circulated, worn condition. Coins that have been in pockets, purses, and cash registers for decades often display significant wear. Details on the Queen's portrait become faint, the ship's rigging blurs, and the coin's surface becomes smooth and dull. This wear reduces their appeal to collectors, and such coins typically hold little more than nominal or sentimental value. Where the coin becomes more interesting to collectors is in specimens preserved in higher grades. Coins that remain in very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated condition are considerably scarcer because most coins were circulated and lost to wear. Such well-preserved examples may have been tucked away in collections, hoards, or kept as keepsakes immediately after minting. Furthermore, uncirculated coins with original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of cleaning or damage command a premium. This premium reflects both their rarity in that condition and their aesthetic appeal. In the world of coin collecting, errors and varieties often elevate a coin's value dramatically. For the 1966 halfpenny, there are no widely documented or consistently recognized rare errors that significantly affect market value. Unlike some other coins in British coinage history, such as the 1937 Edward VIII pattern coins or specific misstrikes in other denominations, the 1966 halfpennies production was relatively straightforward. That said, minor mint errors occasionally occur during the striking process, off-center strikes, die cracks, or slight doubling. These anomalies can be interesting to error collectors, but unless verified and certified, they generally do not lead to substantial increases in value. Collectors interested in error coins should seek professional authentication and grading to ensure the validity and market value of any purported mistakes. Turning to the financial side, the 1966 no-mint mark halfpenny holds modest value in today's collector market. Because it is a common date with high mintage, values are generally low, especially for circulated examples. Typical prices for coins in well-worn condition range from a few pence to about 10 pence in British currency. In US dollars, this translates roughly to under $1, making these coins affordable and accessible for beginners or those building large collections without significant investment. As coin condition improves, values rise. Coins graded as very fine or extremely fine may fetch between 20 and 50 pence, and uncirculated examples or those graded at mint state can reach prices around £1 or slightly higher. In rare instances, coins with exceptional provenance, flawless surfaces, or notable toning can exceed this range. But such sales remain the exception rather than the rule. One of the biggest sources of confusion in the market is the belief that the no-mint mark 1966 halfpenny is rare or worth a fortune. This misunderstanding is often perpetuated by online sellers or inexperienced dealers hoping to attract attention to an otherwise common coin. It is important for buyers and sellers alike to understand that the absence of a mint mark on this coin is standard and does not increase its value. The coin's worth is driven by condition, and any exceptional qualities like error coins or provenance. When evaluating a coin, always consider the overall wear and detail preservation, the coin's surface quality. Avoid coins that have been cleaned aggressively or show signs of corrosion. Whether the coin has any identifiable mint errors or unusual features. The current market demand and comparable sales for those who own these coins or plan to acquire them. Proper preservation can protect or even enhance value over time. Store your halfpennies in protective holders or coin flips, away from moisture and extreme temperatures. Avoid handling the coin excessively or with bare hands, as oils and dirt can damage the surface. If cleaning is necessary, it should only be performed by a professional, as improper cleaning typically decreases value. To conclude, the 1966 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II halfpenny is a coin steeped in British history, bridging the era between traditional pre-decimal currency and modern coinage. While it is not rare in production terms, the coin's value lies in its condition and, to a lesser extent, any unique characteristics. Collectors appreciate these coins for their historical significance and as accessible entry points into British numismatics. While you should not expect to find a coin worth thousands of pounds, a well-preserved 1966 halfpenny can still be a valuable and cherished addition to any collection. The 1973 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II new penny. This humble piece of currency may look ordinary at first glance, but its history, production nuances, rarity, and evolving market value tell a story far richer than its one penny face value suggests. To truly appreciate the 1973 new penny, we must first understand the profound monetary change that Britain underwent in the early 1970s. Prior to 1971, the British currency system was non-decimal, comprised of pounds, shillings, and pence, a complicated system dating back centuries. In 1971, the United Kingdom undertook the monumental task of decimalization, streamlining its currency into a straightforward system where £1 equaled 100 new pence. The new penny coins were introduced as a vital part of this transformation. The one new penny coin, in particular, replaced the old halfpenny coin and was minted to meet the everyday needs of British citizens. The year 1973 was significant because it was among the first years of mass production after the decimal system was well established. The 1973 new penny coin features an elegant design crafted by Christopher Ironside, a renowned coin designer who worked extensively with the Royal Mint. On the obverse, the coin prominently displays a young Queen Elizabeth II, portrayed in a classic portrait wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This depiction reflects the Queen's youthful image, which remained on coins minted during the early years of decimalization. The reverse side features the emblematic crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol deeply connected to British heritage and parliamentary tradition. Surrounding this is the inscription "New Penny" and the date 1973. The coin is composed primarily of bronze, weighing 3.56 grams with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, making it a sturdy and tangible representation of the era. One distinctive feature of the 1973 new penny coin is the absence of a mint mark. Unlike later coins where mint marks are common identifiers for the production facility, the 1973 issues, especially those without mint marks, were primarily struck at the Royal Mint's Llantrisant facility in Wales. The lack of a mint mark on this coin is typical for its time but adds a layer of interest for collectors who specialize in identifying coins from specific mints or production runs. During 1973, the Royal Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, given the public's need for decimal currency. The large mintage means that ordinary circulated coins are plentiful today, but as we will discuss, there are nuances in condition and error variations that make certain examples particularly valuable. While the 1973 new penny is not considered rare in general terms due to its high mintage, several factors influence its desirability among collectors. The primary determinant of value is condition. Coins graded as uncirculated or in mint state command a significant premium over those that show wear from circulation. Another important consideration is minting errors. Coins that exhibit unusual characteristics such as off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks can be exceedingly valuable. These errors occur during the manufacturing process when the coin blanks or dies malfunction. While not every error coin is valuable, notable mistakes can make a seemingly common 1973 new penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. As of 2025, the market value of the 1973 no mint mark new penny coin varies widely depending on condition and rarity. Common circulated examples typically fetch between 20 cents to just over $1 in collector markets. However, coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can achieve values from $5 to $20, sometimes even more if verified by professional grading services. The real intrigue comes from rare error coins or coins with unique provenance. Some error examples of the 1973 new penny have sold at auction for prices exceeding $1,000. These instances are relatively rare but demonstrate the high demand among numismatists for unique pieces. The coin's value also fluctuates with the general interest in British decimal coins and the broader numismatic market trends. For collectors and casual enthusiasts, identifying the worth of a 1973 new penny coin begins with careful examination. Look for clear date markings, sharp detail on the Queen's portrait, and minimal signs of wear. Any unusual features such as doubling on the lettering or numbers, misalignment, or cracks on the coin's surface should be documented and evaluated by experts. Professional grading can significantly affect a coin's marketability and price. Coins graded by recognized services such as PCGS or NGC provide buyers and sellers with confidence about condition and authenticity. The 1973 no-mint mark new penny represents more than just monetary value. It symbolizes a pivotal moment in British history, the transition to decimal currency, a modernizing step for the nation. Collectors value this coin for its historical importance, the artistry of its design, and the stories behind its manufacture and circulation. Moreover, because it was widely used, it offers a gateway for novice collectors to start building a British decimal coin collection. Its accessibility paired with the potential for discovering rare variants creates an exciting numismatic challenge. The 1973 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II new penny is a fascinating piece of British numismatic history. While most coins remain common and affordable, those with exceptional condition or notable errors can be valuable collector's items. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just beginning your coin collecting journey, the 1973 new penny offers a meaningful connection to Britain's monetary past and an intriguing investment potential in the coin market of 2025. The 1971 half new penny, featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Despite being a common coin, it has become somewhat of a legend in the numismatic world due to misunderstandings about its mint marks, rarity, and value. We'll explore the full history of the 1971 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth new penny half coin, explain what makes it special, discuss its rarity and worth, and take a detailed look at its current market value as of 2025. The story begins in 1971, a pivotal year for British currency. On February 15, 1971, the United Kingdom underwent what is known as Decimal Day, when the country officially transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to decimal currency. This was a monumental change, simplifying the monetary system by dividing £1 into 100 new pence instead of 240 old pence. To facilitate this, the Royal Mint introduced a new series of decimal coins, including the 1/2 new penny, the 1 new penny, 2 new pence, and so on. The 1/2 new penny, colloquially called the halfpenny, was the smallest denomination coin and made of bronze. It was designed to replace the old halfpenny coin in the new decimal system. The obverse of this coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, known as the Machin portrait, sculpted by Arnold Machin. It presents a dignified and youthful profile of the Queen facing right, with the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, which stands for, Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse side of the half-new penny features the crowned portcullis, a traditional symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster, surrounded by the denomination wording, half-new penny. The design was by Christopher Ironside, who was responsible for much of the new decimal coinage design, notably, the 1971 decimal coins, including the half-new penny, did not carry any mint mark. This is a critical fact because many collectors mistakenly assume that no mint mark means something rare or special, but in reality, this was the standard for all coins produced at the Royal Mint in London during that period. When assessing the rarity or value of a coin, the first consideration is its mintage, the total number of coins produced. The 1971 half-new penny has an extraordinarily high mintage. In fact, over 1.3 billion half-new pennies were struck by the Royal Mint that year alone. This massive quantity reflects the coin's intended role as everyday currency meant for mass circulation. Because of this colossal mintage figure, the 1971 half-new penny is not rare in the traditional numismatic sense. It is one of the most common coins in modern British coinage, and it is very easy to find in circulated condition. The lack of any mint mark also reinforces the point. These coins were all produced at the main Royal Mint facility in London, with no separate branch or foreign mint involvement. This uniformity means that any 1971 half-new penny you find with no mint mark is typical and common. Although the half-new penny was introduced with much fanfare in 1971, its lifespan as a circulating coin was relatively short. Due to inflation and changing economic circumstances, the half-new penny lost its practical value quickly. By the mid-1980s, the half-new penny was considered obsolete. It was officially withdrawn from circulation in December 1984, less than 14 years after its introduction. After this date, it ceased to be legal tender and was no longer produced for circulation. However, the Royal Mint continued to produce proof and special collector sets featuring the half-new penny, which are often found in exceptional condition and have a different market value compared to circulated examples. One of the most persistent myths surrounding the 1971 half-new penny is that coins with no mint mark are rare or especially valuable. This misunderstanding likely stems from general numismatic knowledge where coins from certain years or countries are distinguished by mint marks, and no mint mark versions are often rare. In the case of the 1971 British decimal half-new penny, this is simply not true. The standard coin production did not include any mint mark. Therefore, every 1971 half-new penny without a mint mark is a standard issue coin. Some online sellers and collectors sometimes advertise these coins as rare or worth hundreds of pounds based solely on the no mint mark designation. This is misleading and does not reflect the reality of the coin's abundance or market value. Collectors should be wary of listings that inflate the value based on this misconception without backing it up with certified grading or genuine rarity factors. When it comes to coin values, the condition or grade of the coin is often the most important factor. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, MS, with uncirculated coins being the highest grade and typically the most valuable. For the 1971 half-new penny, the vast majority of coins found in circulation are worn, with significant scratches, discoloration, and loss of detail. These coins typically have very little numismatic value beyond their face value or a small premium for collectors. Here's a breakdown of what you might expect for the 1971 half-new penny in 2025, depending on its condition. Poor to good condition. These coins are heavily worn with much detail lost. They generally have little value beyond a few pence or pennies, as collectors prefer better quality coins, fine to very fine condition, coins that retain most of their detail but show moderate wear may be worth around £1 to £3. These are somewhat more appealing to collectors but still relatively common. Extremely fine condition. If the coin retains sharp details with minor wear and good color, it may command prices between £3 and £10. Uncirculated or mint state condition. These coins are rare in circulation because most were used extensively or melted down after withdrawal. Mint state coins with original red bronze color and full detail can be worth between £10 and £30, sometimes more if certified by a grading company. Proof coins and special sets. Proof examples from 1971, which are specially struck and come from collector sets, can be worth significantly more, sometimes exceeding £50 or more depending on condition and demand. While the 1971 half-new penny is generally common, there are factors that can push its value higher: condition and eye appeal. coins with original red color, full detail, and no damage or cleaning will always be more valuable. Certification. Coins graded and authenticated by recognized services are more trusted by collectors and often fetch higher prices. Proof examples. These were produced in limited quantities with a superior finish, and therefore have collector interest, historical interest. As the first decimal half-penny coin, it holds historical significance, which can make it attractive to collectors of British coinage. Error. Coins. There are no widely accepted or notable mint errors for the 1971 half-new penny. If any error coins exist, they are extremely rare and must be verified by experts. In 2025, the market for the 1971 half-new penny remains steady but modest. Circulated examples trade hands at low prices due to their abundance. However, interest remains high among collectors who focus on decimal coinage or British coin history. If you have a 1971 half-new penny and are curious about its value, here are some tips. Examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for original color and detail. Compare your coin to reference images of graded examples. Consider having it professionally graded if you believe it is in exceptional condition. Check recent auction results and sales to see what similar coins have sold for, not just asking prices. Beware of exaggerated claims on online marketplaces and be skeptical of coins listed for high prices without supporting evidence. Remember, the 1971 half-new penny is a great historical coin but generally not a high-value rarity unless it is a proof or in mint condition. The 1971 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth half-new penny coin is a fascinating piece of British monetary history. It marks the transition from the old currency system to decimalization and carries the classic Machin portrait of the Queen. Despite its large mintage and commonality, it remains a collectible coin, particularly in higher grades and proof versions. Its value depends largely on condition, rarity of the specific coin condition, and collector demand. If you come across one in your collection or your change, remember that while it might not be worth a fortune, it still tells an important story about the evolution of British currency and has a place in the world of numismatics. The 1971 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II new penny. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone interested in British monetary history, this video will provide you with a comprehensive understanding of this coin's origin, design, rarity, and current market value as of 2025. Understand the significance of the 1971 new penny. We need to first look at the monumental currency reform that occurred in the United Kingdom in the early 1970s. Before 1971, Britain operated on a non-decimal currency system that consisted of pounds, shillings, and pence, with 12 pence making a shilling and 20 shillings making a pound. This system was complicated, making calculations cumbersome for everyday commerce. In response, the British government launched a major initiative to decimalize its currency, culminating in Decimal Day on February 15, 1971. This change introduced a new system where £1 was divided into 100 new pence. As part of this overhaul, a new series of coins was minted, including the new one new penny coin. The 1971 new penny replaced the old penny, but unlike its predecessor, it was worth 1/100th of a pound rather than 1/240th. This fundamental shift reflected the modern economic structure and aligned Britain with most other major economies using decimal currency systems. The 1971 new penny was designed with careful consideration to both tradition and modern aesthetics. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the reigning monarch, designed by the artist Arnold Machin. This portrait is widely regarded as elegant and enduring, capturing the youthful yet regal appearance of the Queen in the early part of her reign. On the reverse side of the coin, the design features the classic figure of Britannia. Britannia, the personification of Britain as a female warrior goddess, is shown seated with a trident in one hand and a shield in the other. This depiction evokes themes of naval power, strength, and protection. Behind her, a lighthouse and seagulls emphasize the maritime heritage of the United Kingdom. The coin is struck in bronze, with a diameter of 20.32 mm and a weight of 3.56 grams. Its edge is smooth, a departure from the older pennies that sometimes featured milled edges. Notably, the 1971 new penny was minted without any mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Royal Mint in London. The 1971 new penny was produced in large quantities to meet the needs of a transitioning economy. Millions of these coins were minted and circulated widely throughout the United Kingdom. Because of the high volume, most specimens encountered today are considered common and carry little numismatic premium over their face value. However, among the many millions produced, some variations and minting errors emerged. These errors and rarities are what spark the interest of collectors and investors alike, as certain coins from this batch have become highly desirable and valuable. The absence of a mint mark on the 1971 new penny is standard for coins produced at the Royal Mint in London. At that time, the Royal Mint did not use mint marks for most coins, so a no mint mark coin is simply a regular production piece. That said, collectors often pay close attention to any subtle differences such as die varieties, struck errors, or unusual rim characteristics because these can dramatically affect a coin's rarity and value. One of the most notable rarities related to the 1971 new penny is the so-called raised rim error. During the minting process, a small number of coins were struck with an improperly formed edge where the rim is raised rather than flush or smooth. This error is extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. Another variation to watch for includes coins struck on incorrect planchets or with double dies, though such examples are far less common. The presence of minting anomalies, combined with the coin's historical significance, can push the value substantially beyond face value. Like all collectible coins, the condition of the 1971 new penny plays a crucial role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale that measures wear and preservation, from poor and heavily circulated, to uncirculated and mint state. In circulated condition, the 1971 new penny is generally worth only its face value, or just slightly more. However, coins that have been carefully preserved in mint or near mint condition, often termed proof or uncirculated, are more valuable. The highest grades, including MS 65, mint state 65, and above, are especially rare for this coin given how long it has been in circulation. Moving to the present day, in 2025, the value of the 1971 no mint mark new penny varies widely based on its condition and any unique attributes it possesses. A typical circulated coin is worth no more than a few pence, essentially equal to its face value. However, coins in uncirculated condition may fetch between $10 to $50 depending on the grade. The rare error coins, especially the raised rim variety, can command prices that reach into the thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. For instance, exceptional specimens that have been professionally graded and certified have been known to sell for prices upwards of $80,000 at specialized auctions, reflecting their rarity and collector demand. Even without errors, pristine examples graded at the very top end of the scale have sold for several $100s, demonstrating the importance of condition in numismatics. For collectors, the 1971 new penny represents a pivotal moment in British monetary history, the shift from a centuries-old currency system to a modern decimal system. This historical context, combined with the coin's iconic design and minting anomalies, makes it a prized addition to any British coin collection. Moreover, as years go by, coins from this era become scarcer in high-grade condition simply because of circulation and natural wear. This scarcity tends to increase collector interest and market values. If you have a 1971 new penny in your collection or found it in change, here are some tips to assess its potential value. Examine the edge. Look for any irregularities such as raised rims or unusual markings. Check the obverse and reverse details. Sharpness of design details often indicates less wear. Look for errors. Raised rims, doubling, or unusual planchets should be noted. Consider professional grading for valuable coins. Certification by a recognized grading service can authenticate and boost value. Compare with market prices. Check recent auction sales and dealer listings to get a sense of current demand. In summary, while the 1971 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II new penny is generally a common coin with modest value, rare variations like the raised rim error can be extraordinarily valuable, sometimes fetching astonishing prices. As of 2025, these coins are an important part of British numismatic history and continue to attract both new and seasoned collectors. If you suspect you have a rare variant or a high-grade specimen, it's worth consulting a professional coin dealer or numismatist to get an accurate appraisal. The 1991 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth I penny coin. Today, we will explore its historical context, unique features, rarity, potential value, and the market landscape in 2025. The 1 penny coin, an integral part of British currency, has undergone various transformations since its inception. The 1991 penny belongs to the decimal coinage series introduced in 1971, replacing the pre-decimal pennies which had a very different design and value system. By 1991, the penny had become a copper-plated steel coin, a change implemented in the early 1990s to reduce production costs and increase durability. The obverse of the 1991 coin features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by sculptor Raphael Maclauff. This effigy, first introduced in 1985, portrays Her Majesty with a regal and youthful visage, adorned with the royal diadem. Around the portrait, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1991, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, or Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turning the coin over, the reverse side displays the iconic portcullis crowned with chains, a symbol closely associated with the Palace of Westminster and British parliamentary heritage. This design, created by artist William Wyon in 1834, has been a consistent feature on the penny, representing British history and governance. Understanding the mint mark, or the absence of one, is crucial in assessing the coin's collectability. Unlike some coins from other years that feature mint marks to identify where they were struck, the 1991 pennies were produced primarily at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, and bear no mint mark. The lack of a mint mark is standard for pennies of this era, and it does not inherently increase or decrease the coin's rarity. Instead, collectors focus more on the condition and any unusual characteristics such as errors or proofs. In 1991, approximately 206.5 million one-penny coins were minted for circulation, making it one of the more common pennies in the UK. This sheer volume means that the average circulated coin is readily available to collectors and typically holds only its face value. However, within this mass production run, there are some versions of the coin that are significantly rarer. For example, brilliant uncirculated and proof coins were minted in much smaller quantities for collectors, often preserved in special packaging. Brilliant uncirculated coins, which are struck with extra care to produce a higher quality finish, were produced in limited numbers, estimated to be around 75,000. Proof coins, made with specially polished dies and planchets, number around 55,000. These coins retain sharp details, a mirror-like background, and satin finishes, making them highly sought after by numismatists. When it comes to valuation, several factors play a role. Condition is paramount. Coins with minimal wear, clear detail, and no surface damage command higher prices. Grading scales, from poor to mint state, help collectors and dealers assess quality. Additionally, coins with minting errors can be valuable. Although not widely documented for the 1991 penny, potential errors could include off-center strikes, double strikes, or planchet defects. Such anomalies are rare and, if verified authentic, can dramatically increase a coin's worth. Another aspect influencing value is provenance and packaging. Coins retained in original Royal Mint presentation sets, especially proof or uncirculated versions, carry premium prices due to their condition and collectability. As of 2025, the standard 1991 no-mint mark penny remains a common collector's coin with a value typically close to its face value of 1 penny. For everyday circulation coins, market demand is low, and prices generally do not exceed a few pence unless the coin is in exceptional condition. Brilliant uncirculated versions, especially those certified by grading services or retained in original packaging, tend to fetch between £10 to £30. Proof coins, more limited in quantity and with their distinctive finishes, can command prices ranging from £20 to £50 or more, depending on condition and market interest. Rare error coins from this year, if available and authenticated, may fetch several times the usual prices, occasionally reaching into the hundreds of pounds at specialized auctions. For collectors interested in the 1991 penny, preserving the coin's condition is crucial. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints or oils that cause corrosion. Store coins in acid-free holders, coin flips, or albums designed specifically for coin preservation. Avoid cleaning coins with abrasive materials, as cleaning can reduce the coin's value significantly. Furthermore, obtaining coins from reputable sources or having them professionally graded can provide assurance of authenticity and condition, which is essential when buying or selling. While the 1991 penny may not be the rarest or most valuable British coin, it represents an era of transition and modernity in British coinage. It reflects the continued legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and the long-standing tradition of British currency as a symbol of national identity. Collecting coins such as this one allows enthusiasts to connect with history tangibly and preserves the craftsmanship and stories behind everyday money. In summary, the 1991 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth I penny coin is a fascinating piece for collectors who appreciate its design, history, and potential variations. While most coins from this year remain common, carefully selected specimens, particularly proofs, brilliant uncirculated coins, and error varieties, offer promising investment opportunities in 2025. Thank you for joining us in this comprehensive exploration. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe the Expensive Coins History channel, and hit the notification bell for more detailed insights into coins and collectibles. Until next time, happy collecting!